Bitch, I'm in the.
I don't know what's happening with the camera, guys. I'm terribly sorry. I think you're drunk, I think is the problem. So we're gonna go with that. Just look at the screen with one eye open, one eye closed. We're gonna be fantastic.
Yeah, that don't work. I mean, I can take my glasses off and it'd be blurry.
I look better, right? Like, here, let me back up.
No, it always look better when my glasses are off. I don't have to
Come
see
a
you.
little bit closer to the camera. Yo, I don't understand what is happening right now. This sucks. Hey, Mark, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Man, I'm fantastic. And guys, welcome to the show. Welcome to Talking Shit, where we are going to meet with a couple of gentlemen. And Keith, what is happening, buddy? How are you? He ain't even drunk yet. Yes, you are. Look at this. Look at this side of the screen.
Hey, there's a new feature on StreamYard, if you had not noticed. When you put it up there on the screen and you take it off, it goes. It's not as bright as the other. That means that you've already put it on the screen.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying now. Okay. I got you. Okay, so we're going to have to work on this whole camera situation. But in the meantime, Mark, what do we got going on tonight?
I had this one gentleman, message me about coming on the show. And then he tells me a few weeks later, or not even a few weeks, he said in that one, he said, I might be able to have this other gentleman come on. I'm like, okay, who is it? He said, well, he tells me his name. And I'm like, well, let's see. And about a week later, he tells me, oh, he's going to be on. So so in that case, I was like, okay, we'll start, telling people. So I'm going to bring Johnny on first.
Johnny Necro, what's happening, buddy? How are you?
Good. How's everybody?
Fantastic. Hey, before we jump in and get our next guest on, why don't you introduce yourself properly? Mark and I don't do a lot of research. I know you do. So
that's okay. I'm great at shameless self-promotion. I'm Johnny Logan Harley, aka Johnny Necro. I've been in the punk scene over 30 years, doing the comic strip and comic book series Frozen Dead since 1999. I'm also heavily involved in independent film lately. And along the way, I got to meet this awesome gentleman, Rick Collins, who we'll bring on next. And I'll let you tell him hello, and he can tell you a little bit about himself.
How you doing?
Hey, guys. How are you?
Fantastic.
It's good to see you. So, thanks for having me on the show. My name is Rick Collins. I've been an actor and a lawyer for just about 30, 40 years, something crazy like that. I appeared in a bunch of the Trauma movies back in the 80s, some in the 90s, some even a little bit more recently than that. I was the villain in the original Toxic Avenger 2 and 3 sequels. I think I'm one of only 2 actors to have appeared in all of the Trauma Toxic Avenger movies. 2 and 3 were recently recut into a new movie called Mr. Melvin, which I just did the audio commentary for the UK version. I've had a wonderful career. I had a little walk-on in my favorite television show of all time, The Sopranos. Besides the acting stuff, I've done in film, I've done some stage work in Manhattan and elsewhere. I'm also a practicing lawyer. I've been doing that for a long time. I've been a skydiver. I've been a bodybuilder. I've been a lot of sort of fun, offbeat sort of stuff. And this will be fun. Let's talk shit.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Who do you want to talk shit about first? No, I'm just kidding. We don't have to do that. Lore, oh my God, Brian, spit it out. Lawyer ring, right? Is that
there you go. You can make a verb.
That's the word I was looking for.
There you go.
How did you find yourself basically getting into that, man? I got to know. Like you wake up one day and go, I think I'm gonna be a lawyer.
So I wasn't really sure what I was going to do when I was in college. I didn't have enough hard science credits to go to chiropractic school or medical school. So lawyer is sort of, it's either a doctor or a lawyer if you want to go on to a professional career. So I chose lawyer. I was lucky. I was blessed enough to get a full academic scholarship to law school. So I didn't have the loans. I was not a rich kid. So for me, that was a huge factor that enabled me to do it. I worked my way through school, through college. I was a personal trainer. I was a nightclub bouncer. I was a nursing home orderly. So I've and competed in bodybuilding through that period of time as well. I started my career as a prosecutor, putting the bad guys in jail, and did that for 5 years. And then I went into criminal defense and other types of litigation. I've been doing that for a long time. I've taken some time off here and there to do some acting stuff. I think I'm at a point where I may do some more. I did a small role in a movie last year, which will be released, I think, this summer, called Stray Hunter, the Okamiverse Chronicles. And so I'm excited. I have a few other projects perhaps coming up. I've been doing a little bit of the convention circuit. It's been awesome, based on my trauma stuff and some of the new stuff that's coming out.
Guys, let's talk a little bit about trauma. Let's talk a little bit about it. I got to get this camera fucking fixed, guys. It is driving me crazy. I don't know.
Well, I go back to close to the beginning of trauma, to the early, to mid 1980s with the original Toxic Avenger. I had a small little role, part in that. And then I got called back for Class of Nukem High, which was the next movie that Lloyd Kaufman and Michael Hers, the directors and guys who founded Trauma, did. Then I came back for something called Trauma's War. Then I came back for something called Kabuki Man, NYPD. Then I came back for Toxic Avenger 2 and 3. I actually, believe it, I played the villain, a character called the Chairman, who reveals myself to be the devil. So it's a great, there's nothing better than playing a villain on film. It's you really can have a blast. Not many people know, but I auditioned for the role of Toxic Avenger in Toxic 2 and 3, but I was too short. I'm 5'10", and the guy who got the role, Ron Fazio, is more like 6'2". But I have no regrets because it worked out. I got a face role instead of a mask role. I really got both because I become the devil, and at that point I become sort of a masked creature. But until then, I'm basically a guy in a suit. So for me, it was a dream role.
Very cool. Johnny, moving right over to you, brother. Punk rock, dude. Let's talk a little bit about punk rock, man.
Well, it doesn't get much more punk rock than Trauma when it comes to independent film. I mean, I've been a Nukem High fan my whole life as well, and I recently got to be a Cretan for the first time in my life. I have 2 songs in the upcoming Poltergeist 2 and a small cameo in that. Plus, about a year and a half ago, one of my buddies who runs the East Coast conventions, Frankie, invited me to set their Power of Positive Murder. So if you find the trailer, which was hidden in their April Fool's Day gag, I'm in the trailer behind Lloyd Kaufman in the Power of Positive Murder trailer. And that one's going to be cool because that's black and white and noir. We went back a second day, me and my friend Sydney, who's with me in a clip for the Poltergeist 2 as my twin sister. We're Necrosis and Militia, even though it's not credited like in like any vocal thing. But we had went back for another day of that Power Positive Murder for a bunch of stuff that ended up getting, I think it was being saved for something else. So that's kind of neat. And now I found out we're also in an upcoming Trauma documentary that was shot at Traumathon last year. My wife, me, a bunch of our Trauma adjacent friends and family are in there. It's more like a bunch of friends and family playing games together. I mean, I've always just called myself Trauma adjacent, but I guess it's kind of official if I'm in something now. So that's beautiful.
Welcome to the club. Yeah, absolutely.
And I want to say thank you, whether he sees it or not, to a mutual friend and colleague, Brian Northrup, because he's what kind of got you pulled back in a little bit for the Toxic Avenger reunions with Lisa Gay and everybody, Ron. And he also produced another movie that I did a one-day scenes for Bill Whedon's upcoming Our Man Funk. So Brian produced that, and then Brian's supposed to have something in our movie as well. So it's funny, we're all like interconnected with people that live all over the country, and it's all for the love of this 50+ year company.
Right.
And that's beautiful. We don't do it for fame, or we don't do it to get rich. We do it because we care, and that's what helps Lloyd discover new people and bring people up. A close friend of mine, I never thought in a million years I'd have as the star of Curse of the Ghost Rider. Amanda Flowers was in Shakespeare's Shitstorm, and she's our muse entity for this movie. I mean, there's so much trauma in a non-trauma movie. It's beautiful. Lisa Gay plays my mom in this movie. You know, we're blessed to have Rick, and then we have Rick Howard, who's one of the Cretans from the original Nukem High, doing a commercial within the film. Like, it's Lloyd has a cameo, and it's a mid-credit scene, but he's there. He let us film in the basement of Troma. Again, we're not a Troma movie. Nothing against whether we are or not, but he let us film in the basement, and he does that for several independent filmmakers. He's very, very blessing, or very generous with encouraging the next generation of independent film.
There's a lot of independent filmmakers out there. Is there anybody that stands out to you as, I don't know, I wouldn't say competition, but somebody you're like, oh man, that guy or that lady, that they got something going on, and I really dig what they're doing? Is there anybody?
I dig what a lot of them are doing, but I don't see any of it as competition. There's enough pie for everybody. We rise together. You know, we're just playing in sandboxes.
Yeah, that's right. What about fan films? Any favorite fan films that you guys like? Anything you want to shout out?
I can say the one that I'm filming next month before I do more Curse of the Ghost Rider. I've been growing these out since my last role in Survive the End I did a couple weeks ago. But me and my friends across the country, we're doing a Wolverine fan film. So yeah, my hair naturally does that up top, and I can do the 80s voice, bub. So we're going to have a lot of fun with that. And then as soon as it's done, I got to shave, because people coming in from out of state are there for Curse of the Ghost Rider as well. And 2 of them did special effects on Power Positive Murder.
Wow. Right
Yeah.
on. Rick,
And if
what
there are
about
trauma fans,
big family.
If there are trauma fans out there, Johnny, you know that the character that I played in the little cameo in Killer Cox and Curse of the Ghost Rider is named for a trauma character, which I think real diehard trauma fans will get that little Easter egg.
And that was awesome. He came up with that on his own. I was like, blessed that he wanted to do this anyways, but I was like, let's make it fun. You can name your own character if you want. And he did. He went out, he bought his own microphone. He plays a newscaster, and he nailed it. Sent me a couple of different takes, and it's beautiful. And then I did show you it when I edited it together with Scott Doss, the man playing our detective, and with James Carnes, the creator of Killer Cox.
Funny.
I don't want to spoil it, but it's very fun. Curse of the Ghost Rider will be basically, it takes place before Killer Cox, but again, it's beautiful how we interwove it, because again, there's no competition. We're friends making art together.
Where will it release? Will it release on YouTube? Are you going to release it?
I'm not doing anything until after physical media, because I want everybody to be able to actually see it and hold it in their hands, because everybody works so hard. And I want to also give everybody a thank you and a shout out. Every single person that's worked on this did this for free. We did not crowdfund. We did it all out of our own pockets. We all did it for the love of the story and for the love of each other. So we want to have something physical before it just gets lost in the massive streaming.
And now with pricing going up on everything, man, even if you wanted to pay somebody, it's like, do I pay an actor or do I put gas in the car? Like that's where we're at right now. Like, it's like, holy shit, dude. I don't know where you guys are paying for gas, but I pulled up to the pump this morning at $4.65. I was like, are you fucking serious right now, dude?
It's no joke. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Crazy.
hopefully things will get better. I hope soon.
Right here, guys. Johnny is multi-talented, acting, music, comics, a lot of creative work. So many cool sounding projects coming up for both of you. What would you guys like to do if you could do another type of fan film or the type of recreate, a recreate of any kind of horror genre? What do you guys think you guys would attack?
I was asked to participate in a film that was going to be shot in Norway, and it was a supernatural Viking movie. That sounds like it's something that I should have been involved with. Unfortunately, the timing wasn't right for me to fly out there and shoot it. But yeah, I love offbeat movies. I love apocalyptic movies. I love post-apoc. Train to Busan is one of my favorite zombie movies. I just
That's a
watched
good
Cold
movie.
Storage the other night. I'd never seen that before. So I love that whole genre. So yeah, I'd love to do some action-oriented horror movies.
Some Dawn of the Dead. Some what is it? 28. Was it 28 days later?
28 days,
Oh
28
my god.
weeks, 28 years now. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
stretching it out, but yeah,
I
for
like I
sure.
dig those types of films, man. That kind of directorship and stuff like that. I feel like it just absolutely gets the attention of when that film launched. I don't think it was supposed to be anything major, and I think it just kind of blew up, and people are like, "Holy shit, dude, this movie's fucking badass." And it was the same thing with like Toxic Avenger. It was the same thing with like um, what's your favorite clown movie, Mark?
Which one?
Art the Clown,
Oh, Terrifier.
Terrifier. Yeah, like crazy out of fucking left field, man. That shit's blowing up.
Because it's easier to do independent run films than it is to do something that it has corporations or sticking their hands all into it.
Well,
Yeah.
wasn't there something to do with the Friday the 13th franchise or something, Mark?
That's a whole different thing. That was another, two people suing each other. That's the reason why it stuck in limbo for the longest time.
You listen to any of these stories about how the Hollywood suits interfere with what the director's vision for a movie is. I was watching a documentary on the making of the John Wick movies, and how they insisted the studio did not want the dog to die in the original movie. And the director was like, but that's the catalyst, that's the motivation for why the character goes on this hunt for revenge. No, you can't kill a dog on film. And they stuck it out. It was a big fight, but ultimately the director won. And of course, those movies are absolutely awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the right choice.
Yeah. Question for Rick: will you be going to Northeast Comic Con in the near future?
So I'm hopeful. I have an agent who's been sending me out. She's absolutely awesome, and she's been sending me out to a few different. I was recently in Alabama, a few other places. So yeah, I'm looking to do more of the Comic Con circuit, and so just reach out to me on Instagram. I'm very easy to find, Rick Collins ESQ. And if you're promoting any kind of Comic Con event, certainly reach out and I'll put you in touch with my agent who does that.
Johnny, you go to all the cons? Do you do
I
the
do
cons?
some. I've done a little bit less the last 2 years because I've been so busy with traveling for Curse of the Ghost Rider and a few other things. I just did one for Free Comic Book Day voluntarily. There's one coming up that I can't really announce yet because they have to officially announce it, but that's in November. That's one I've been looking forward to. That's kind of local.
So Mark and I are in Florida, so we don't get to do like our cons are. Which one do we have?
Scaredus
So,
and
Spookilla
Spook,
or Spooky Empire.
Spooky Empire. Spookilla is no longer. It's called Scaredus.
Scared us. Oh, because they tried to sue each other. Once
Yep.
again, I mean, come on, guys, put on a
Yep.
fucking show, will you?
So we did a release of the Mr. Melvin recut Toxic Avenger 2 and 3 and premiered it on Long Island. And the crowds, I don't know, people from all over the Northeast came out to the Huntington Arts Center. And there was, I think that it was supposed to be like a 7 o'clock screening. And it took us an extra hour and a half because there were so many Trauma fans who wanted pictures and autographs. There was a line that literally went outside the door and down the street. It was just a fantastic, and the fact that there are young fans of movies that I did with, Ron Fazio and Lisa Gay and all the others who were part of that Trauma family back in the late 80s. The fact that there are fans who weren't even born when we did those movies, but will come up to us at Comic-Con and conventions and talk about how much what we did for them has meant to them as young people and a whole new generation of fans. It's just it's really fantastic.
I had my daughter message me the other day. She watched Howard the Duck.
I like
Wow.
Howard the Duck.
I love Howard
Wow.
the Duck.
I don't
That's
like
amazing.
how it gets so much backlash. It was the first Marvel movie, and it was very well done, in my opinion.
I
It was
agree.
still
Right.
George Lucas.
You know what's great though is Howard the Duck is still in the MCU. Like
Yep.
there's Easter eggs in all the MCUs that
Seth Green voiced them.
it's crazy, right? So she texts me. She goes, "What in the fuck am I watching?" And I was like, "It's great, isn't it?"
It was
I was
probably
like, "It's so good."
yeah. She probably messaged you at the time that that they were in bed together.
Probably. I don't know. She just said, "What the hell am I watching?" So I was
I
like,
thought it was good. I thought that they did a real good job for what they had to deal. What they had at that time. Yeah, they
Sure.
did really.
Let's talk about that, guys. What do you guys use for effects in your films when you're out there making stuff? Because there's not a, I'm sure you don't have a large budget to put a lot of effects into these films. Do you guys go back to like now this new thing is like all AI stuff? Are you guys utilizing any of that
Right.
stuff for the movie?
I use some of it for Curse of the Ghost Rider, but we use practical whenever we can. But remember, we're not out there asking people for money to make this movie. So for some of our more dangerous stuff, sure, I used it. I mean, a lot of people may be against it, but it's just another pencil in the art box. And I
Right.
do believe if you put your heart into it, you can still make it decent art. I mean, yes, there are ramifications, but that's no different than streaming services. They all use data centers. So there's always
Yeah.
going to be pushback, but it's to me no different than when Pixar started making cartoons. I still go back and watch Pink Panther. I still watch Scooby Doo, but it doesn't mean I don't like the new stuff. You
Right.
gotta grow, and if people don't like it, that's fine. Don't use it, but don't discriminate about it because I have some very dangerous stunts, and it would be a logistic nightmare for the safety of my cast and crew, especially my one friend's young son who is autistic. When he gets covered in blood in one scene, you don't want to traumatize people. I have explosions and fires, but
Yeah.
at the same time, my friend Troma Dan in Cleveland does an incredible practical effects scene all by himself where his head gets crushed. So we do use both. And it's not like I have to be on the fence pro one and anti the other. It's 2026.
Right. And so some of the movies that I did back in the late 80s, there obviously was no CGI, there was no AI. And so everything was, the costume that I wore as the devil was made of latex, and it was made out of a form fitted, having a plaster cast of my upper body and my head. I don't know if you've ever had that done, but your head gets completely encased in plaster. They put 2 straws up your nose and you wait until it hardens, and then they crack it off your head and they make a mask out of the out of latex, out of that mold. And they would glue it to my face. It took maybe 2 hours to get into full mask and makeup every morning when I was playing the devil in Toxic Avenger 3. There was no CGI. Everything was old school. This movie that I just did, Stray Hunter, the Akamiverse movie, um, I transform at the end of the movie. I sort of get merged with artificial intelligence, and that's where there will be a lot of special effects. They're being added on later, and using some CGI to do that. So I've experienced both, and I agree with Johnny. It's another arrow in the quiver, and you can use it as little or as much as you want, depending on what the effect that you're looking to get out of it is.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I loved watching how Robert Englund had to sit for the Freddy Krueger
Mhm.
makeup. I thought it was absolutely
Sure.
phenomenal. They did a fantastic job of that.
Yep.
Today's today's people, I don't think that they know how to do it. I don't think that they know what latex is or how to properly put it
Well,
together because
I mean, they still use it, but
Yeah, there's still quite a few people that are keeping it alive. Like again, the people doing the Wolverine thing with me and did the practical effects for Power Positive Murder. We're doing practical effects for that Wolverine short as well. I mean, they know all that stuff. They're very talented with it. But a lot of it also, like I said, comes down to a budget. And if you have backing from somebody or a studio, and you have the time and you have
sure.
all that extra manpower, do it. Please keep it alive. It's traditional. It's old school. It's beautiful. But just because you don't like something doesn't mean you have to be overly vocal and chastise people because they can't.
No. Yeah, I get that. I totally get that. I'm just thinking like the era that we were in to the era that's coming up now. Like this whole generation, they're relying more upon the CGI and the AI and stuff like that. And it's like, well, you don't need to put somebody in a mask. What we do is we just green screen. We put them in a green
Right.
suit, and then all of a sudden we can make him a monster. We can make him do what we
Yeah,
want.
but
You know what I mean?
right, but in some cases, you put them in green screen stuff like that, you can't even get it right.
Right.
Get it?
And it loses something for the actor,
Yeah.
for as an actor to, and I love playing villains, and to be in the full makeup. I had the wings. I had, if you ever seen the movie, I've got, green latex arms with black fingernails and this scary costume, bangs in my mouth. You can, I think, give a better performance because you're more in tune with the character than just doing something against a green screen that imagining most of it.
Very cool. Johnny, there was a question that was up on the screen a minute ago. It was, can you tell us if you've done any music for films, shorts, or any upcoming projects?
Yeah, I've been doing a lot more of that, and it's beautiful that people are finally rediscovering stuff that I did back in the '90s and on. By the way, just so you know, I offer any independent filmmaker completely license-free music or score if it's something pre-recorded. If I recorded a song tomorrow and it was up and somebody wanted it, I would give it to them to use because that's what we should do. But at the same time, you always hope to be paid to become a composer.
Sure.
But I don't know how well you can see this right here. This is Monsters Anonymous, a film by a gentleman, Travis Nelson. And this is the first time I've ever seen my name on physical media. And he was so nice that he put both music by Johnny Logan Harley performed as Johnny Necro. So that was the first time I got to hear my music in a film. Then recently, you're gonna laugh because this is the season of the curse of the movies, whether it's Troma's Curse of the Werewolf or Curse of the Baby Eater, which has two of my oldest instrumental tracks in it, and it also had one of the stars in that is in Killer Cox. So it's this weird circle of independent cinema.
And I noticed that we noticed that Mark and I noticed that a lot. We've had directors, we've had writers, we've had actors, actresses, stunt people, camera people, and they all have the same thing to say, like that the community is so tight that you may work with one person for 2 years and then you might go away for a year or something. They do a project or 2 or 3 or 4 on their own, and you're doing these projects. And then you guys get together one day and go, "Hey, you guys want to do this project together?"
Right.
You're like, "Oh man, I haven't seen you in 2 years. How you been?"
Right.
You
Right.
know.
The song that was in that Monsters Anonymous is also going to be in the Stubborn. So that's kind of cool too. And then again, the 2 songs of Poltergeist 2 to finish answering your question. But I don't even remember. I have offers out for so many people, but they're not all in the same stage of being able to say yes or no.
Rick, I heard it was your idea for one of my favorite scenes, and when you light the cigar off the bald henchman's head.
Mhm.
Can you tell us the story behind that?
Yeah. So my character, I have a dual role. So I play the devil at the end of the movie in Toxic Avenger 3. But prior to that, I'm basically a corporate villain, bad guy running highly toxic and polluting corporation. And so
Oh, Vince McMahon.
yeah. So yeah. So I was always looking for some way of expressing disdain, privilege, just treating people badly, because after all, secretly I'm the devil. And so anything that I could do to kind of make people be dismissive of humans. And so I had a little bald henchman, and so I came up with this idea that in one scene I would tape a flint to the side of his head off camera. And so I practiced lighting a match. My character smoked cigars, so I would light a match off the side of his head and just puff on the cigar and do the line. As all of you probably know, as the day wears on and there's hasn't been enough filming done, you begin to lose the light. And once you start losing the light, that means that you're going to have to shut down filming, and you want to get as much done as possible. And so this particular scene was at the end of the day, and Lloyd Kaufman, the director, said, "Okay, let's do this scene." I said to him, "Lloyd, listen, I got this little idea about doing a little bit of business where during my line, I'll just light a match off Jerry's head." And I could see immediately he's losing the light. He's upset. He didn't want to do it. He's like, "No, no, no, do it straight. Do it straight." I said, "Listen, Lloyd, give me one take. If it doesn't work in one take," because he was concerned it could be an hour of fumbling with the match. He's like, I said, "Give me one take. If it doesn't work, I'll do the line straight." We compromised. He said, "Fine." And because we were losing the light and the sun was so low in the sky, when I hit the match off his head, the flame was even bigger and more pronounced than it would have been earlier in the day. And it's in the film, and I think it just looks great. And it really shows a lot about who my character is.
Fantastic. All right, guys, let's do this. We're going to take just a couple of minutes of break. That way we can go get our drinks, use the restroom. Mark's going to cue up some music. And then, ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, we're going to be talking with Johnny Necro and Rick Collins. And we are also going to play a little game called Florida or Not Florida. If you watch the show, you already know. So if you haven't watched the show, when we come back, we'll explain the rules. Mark, what music you got queued up for us, buddy?
Until I Wake, and the song is called Cold.
Oh, the things I say when we're face to face, never gone insane. Now you built your walls, and it feels like I don't know you well. Lost in the dark as I run through the and just another afterthought when I'm alone. Someone I can stay alive. After a day, would you even listen? I know words will not atone for all the nights I've left you cold. You don't play those games, devil's in my way, and I can't escape. Now you built your walls, and it feels like I don't know you well. Lost in the dark as I run through the end. It's all you even listen. I know words will not atone for all the nights I've left you cold. Romanticizing what puts you through. Someone I can stay alive. After all days, would you even listen? I know words will not come. So cold for all the nights I've watched you go.
Okay.
Your cat fucked it up?
No, it cut off. for some reason, this one didn't play all the way through.
You suck
I
at
don't know.
this game.
And I
Oh,
have a bit of a hard stop, guys, in like about 5 minutes. And I know Johnny wants to cover a lot of stuff also. So I may bid adieu to you guys in a few minutes, if that's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Do you want to stick around for the game?
I probably will jump off just before the game.
All right.
So when it's game time, maybe I'll jump off, if that's okay with you.
That's fine.
Okay.
Mark, who was the music from again?
Until I Wake.
Until I Wake, and we're gonna have one of the band members on next week. Is that right?
Yes, August.
All right, fantastic. Johnny, talking about bands, man. What'd you think about that one right there? How'd that?
August was almost in Curse of the Ghost Rider, but there was scheduling conflicts. Him and his wife were early on in discussions with this, so I'll give them a thank you for even considering it back then. But no, it was good. I've known about them. Like I said, I've been online friends with them for over a year or so. A lot of respect.
Amber was one of the first few guests that we had on our show when we first
Very
started.
cool. She's doing very well for herself in her career as well. But so is August.
Yes.
I don't know what the hell this dog's problem is. You better get the hell out. Get out of here. Get out of here, dog.
Angel's still passed out under the blanket behind me.
The cat?
Yeah, she's passed out.
I went and got a,
She sleeps while I record punk rock.
went and
I
got a-
mean, she loves music. She doesn't mind noise at all. She's just happy to be away from the other three.
how many cats you got?
Four.
Oh,
Wow.
We had 6. Unfortunately, a couple were taken from us over the last 2 years. It was just the 1-year anniversary of my very special rescue baby, my little tripod Vader. So that was kind of a hard week.
I had 9 at one time, and then then went down.
too many. It's too many.
They're our kids. We don't have any human babies, so we take care of rescuing babies that need us more. Angel's blind in one eye. Somebody at my work threw her out in the truck lot one winter right before Christmas, so we had to nurse her back to health with no vet. So she lost one of her eyes from her upper respiratory, but she's perfect health. She's the one sleeping there. So I'm very much against animal cruelty. Vader lost his leg because somebody stomped him when he was 4 months old and he was a stray, and nobody wanted him from the vet, so we took him home. We brought him back from PTSD to the point where he'd stand up for kisses. So, I mean, love can heal all wounds.
This girl got
Maybe
7.
that's way too much. Even I'm not that bad.
17, y'all.
Wow.
I'm good with 1. We're good with 1. I'm not a cat person, but they're okay. The best breed. Oh my God! Speak up, dude.
Best breed is rescue.
Rescue. There you go. Rescue cats are the best breed. So not Siamese. Is that what we're getting at?
While we still have time before he hops off, Rick, I just want to say thank you again so much for being in my debut film. Thank you for playing in our sandbox. It is a true honor and a privilege. And again, once you're trauma, you're always trauma. So it means the world. You're a living legend, and we thank you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, Johnny, and thank you both Mark and Brian for having me on. I do have to jump, but I really appreciate you having me on the show, and maybe we'll do it again sometime.
Absolutely.
I'll make sure I let you know the next time I'm in New York so we can go have some dinner.
Sounds good, gentlemen. All right, take care, guys.
Have a good night.
Night.
Okay, you too.
All right, Johnny.
He's such an amazing human being. Thank you for letting him join us.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, it's fantastic to have him. Let's do a little game called Florida or Not Florida. We got some fans in the comment section that will play along with you. It's an easy game.
No problem. Just so people know, I can't read the comments on my cell phone. It's like way too tiny.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here,
I'm not ignoring anybody.
She has a tabby Siamese
Oh, beautiful.
that's a rescue as well. All right. So if I pop it up on the screen, I'll try to read it to you.
I'm just not ignoring people. I don't want them to think I'm being rude.
No. A lot
No,
of
Brian normally reads them anyways.
Okay, so the way the game works, it's very easy. I just read a headline, give you a little synopsis, a little bit of the story. And we have these people here in Florida. They're called Florida Man, and Florida Man be doing some crazy shit.
I watched the show.
You've watched the show? Okay, so you know. So
Yeah, I lived there temporarily, so I mean, yeah, I've seen it.
where out in Florida were you at?
Panama City Beach. Matter of fact, on the Johnny Necro Facebook page, I just found a song that was on my wife's hard drive that I didn't even remember recording, and I made a little video with like a rabbit and a gator, and making fun of people, and also being very serious. How people were the reason so many gators get unnecessarily killed because people were fucking idiots. So
Yeah, everybody wants to fuck with them.
You posted that.
Hey, here's a good idea. That's a fucking huge lizard. Leave it the fuck alone.
right, his job
right.
is to eat you.
Yeah. They're not herbivores. They are carnivores, dude. You sure do look like a big plant. Let me grab a hold of you real quick. All right, here we go. Here is the first headline then, Johnny. Man arrested after trying to teach a bear how to properly fist bump.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
Probably Florida. Although the bears are very weird down there because they don't get all the extra weight for hibernating.
So you think it's a Florida bear?
Sure.
All right, let's give the comment section here a second to see what they say. Mark, what do you think, Mark?
It's not Florida.
You don't think it's Florida?
No. I think
All
it's
right.
like Tennessee.
Tennessee, get the hell out of here. All right, trouble. Miss Amanda is saying not Florida. And D sleep time. I say not Florida for the bear. So we don't have a lot of bears here in Florida, just so you guys know. But we do have bears. They're little. So let me read this one more time. Man arrested after trying to teach a bear how to properly fist bump. This actually happened in Russia. A guy in Siberia wandered into a wildlife area, approached a juvenile brown bear, and tried to train it like it was a TikTok pet.
Dude, you went completely out of the United States for that.
Yes, I did. I saw that and I was like, "Oh yeah, we're getting that."
You should save that for Canada or the United States.
We're good. All right, here's your next
We're
question.
all the same. No matter where you go, we're all stupid. So unify.
Our next headline reads: Woman steals ferry because she was late for work and thought she could drive it. Is this Florida or
Ferry?
not?
Say that one again.
A woman steals a ferry because she was late for work and thought she could drive the ferry. Is that Florida or not Florida?
Sure.
Gonna go Florida on that one too?
Why not?
Okay.
With a
Let's see what-
50-50 chance.
Where's our comment section? Mark, what do you think, buddy?
Not Florida.
All right, give me your reason of not Florida.
How many ferries do we actually have in Florida?
I used to live in Jacksonville.
Okay, that's one.
All right, Amanda says not Florida, and Sleep says leaning towards no. Johnny, you want to change your answer?
No,
Stick with it.
I'm good with being wrong.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It is woman steals ferry because she was late for work and thought she could drive it. Not Florida. It happened in Sweden. A commuter missed the last ferry of the morning and decided that the logical solution was to untie it and pilot it herself. This happened in Sweden.
I would have thought more so like in New York or something.
Somebody's stealing the Staten Island ferry.
I swear to God, bro. Listen, your ass getting shot. Probably not even by the police. It probably like somebody else that's on the ferry.
I had to sleep on that while homeless before, just back and forth.
Fuck.
And the subway, but that's another story.
I kind of miss the subways. No, not really. All right, naked man found sword fighting with a tree at 3 a.m. Florida or not Florida?
I might as well go with the hat trick. One of these is going to be Florida, so I'm just saying Florida again.
So Johnny's just going to lean towards. Listen, I would just make every
Hey,
answer.
I'm going with Florida.
It's the name of the game. One of them's going to be Florida.
Mark, what are you thinking?
Florida,
And why do you think that, man?
because I've read stories like that in Florida.
Okay, all right. Let's see what my comment section says here. Oh, I love this one for the previous one about the ferry. Was I would have said Louisiana. All right, next one was Amanda says Florida on this one, and Sleep says that sounds like Florida with the sword in the tree. Well, let's see, guys. Here we go. Naked man found sword fighting with a tree at 3 a.m. Gainesville, Florida police responded to reports of a man battling nature. He had a decorative wall sword and was challenging a large oak tree to a duel. When asked why, he said the tree started it.
Beautiful.
Fuck you, tree. Fuck you. You got me arrested. All right, here we go. Next question. We're down to our final two. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Goat breaks into a hospital, eats medical paperwork, and refuses to leave. Florida or not Florida, guys?
I'm going to say no on this one.
Ooh, you want to
Because all
know
the snakes eat all the goats.
what happened with all the goats? Who eats them?
All the snakes eat the goats.
The snakes would eat the goats. You're absolutely right. Mark, what do you think on this one there, buddy? Do you agree with Johnny?
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with him.
So we're not down in the Everglades, of course. We're up here in the little armpit of Florida. We got a lot of gators, but I used to have goats. You know, the finicky thing about goats is they get out of everything. You can't contain a goat. I don't care what anybody tells you.
And I'm gonna bet you that this happened like in Ohio or something like that.
Well, let's see. Amanda says it's not Florida, and Sleep says not Florida. I don't feel like it would be a goat in Florida. Okay, like I said, once upon a time I used to own goats, but let me read this to you guys one more time. Goat breaks into a hospital, eats medical paperwork, refuses to leave. It actually happened in India. A goat wandered into a rural hospital through an open door, found the records room, and started just chewing away on the patient files. India, guys, where they have
a lot of stuff that was either
a lot of goats.
Oh my God, you picked all the way out of the United States,
buddy. I just found some great stories for this show.
No, I mean I like them.
He says he doesn't research for the episode, but he'll research like hell for the game.
It takes about 5 minutes for this, for the game.
I don't research for the show because the show is not about me; it's about you. So I always bring it to your attention. Like, what do you guys want to talk about? You guys.
Then you always learn something too. Then, so that's kind of good.
we're a teaching show. We're like the Reading Rainbow. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. No. Man tries to rob a store with a live crab as a weapon. Is this Florida or not Florida? Man tries to rob
that could be a trick.
What's that?
That could be a trick of what you're saying. But I agree with
going Johnny. All over the place, Brian Santiago.
I agree with Johnny. I believe it's Florida.
Johnny, you said it's Florida. Mark, you think it's Florida as well. All right, crew, what do you guys think? Makes sense for Maryland, but going to say Florida. Oh, I love the Maryland thing. I love that.
I do have a Florida crab story. So,
all right, we'll finish up this one, and then we'll hear this Florida crab story.
Brian's got a crab story. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, sorry, can't say that one.
That wasn't me. That was you, bro.
No, that wasn't me.
And Amanda says Florida. All right, we got everybody is locked in. Here we go. Man tries to rob a store with a live crab as a weapon. Key West, Florida. Man grabbed a crab from a nearby dock, stormed into a convenience store, waving it like a biological nunchuck. The clerk laughed, the crab pinched him, and the man dropped both the crab and the plan. Police described it as a poorly executed crustacean-based crime. So, yes, it happened in Florida right here in Key West, just about 5 hours south of us, Mark. Okay, so tell me your story, and congratulations. Who won?
A three-way tie.
three-way tie. Everybody won. Congratulations, everybody.
Everybody won. I mean, I don't want to say Johnny didn't do well, but everybody else got them all right.
I don't care. I lost.
Johnny, you know what you get for winning, though. Some of these bad boys. We send these things out. I don't know if you got yours yet. Mark's going to send you some, if not, and then he's got some of those as well.
Nice.
Couple little decals. Do what you may with them. Throw them up on a stop sign, Walmart bathroom. It don't matter.
I mean, that's
So before I forget and get distracted, here's your two-part crab story. So even though my wife is from Michigan, and I had lived in Michigan off and on, being from there as well, off and on, we did not meet face-to-face until she had moved to Florida. And that's how I came down to see her finally. Even though we knew each other in Michigan online, I worked with her brother's girlfriend at the time. So we met in Florida, though. We went down to Florida, and she'd never been fishing before. So I said, let's go fishing in this bay. And we had squid for bait, and we were out there fishing. And I said, do you want to fish? She goes, well, I've never fished. So I handed her the pole, and I said, well, just kind of do this. And she goes, okay. And then she handed it back. And I said, and there's something on here. By the time we reeled it up, there was a blue crab holding onto the line, eating the squid. So my wife caught a blue crab on a fishing line, her first time ever fishing. Later that day, I made a fake crab track because there was crab traps all around the dock.
Yep.
I just did it with some bucket and rocks and whatever, and I was dragging it, just being a smartass. And I caught something with that, and I pulled it up, and it was a crab trap, and there was a crab in it. So we took that out of the guy's crab trap, went home and cooked them both, and we were good. And by the way, my wife and I have never had a complete day apart ever since our first day together in Florida. That was in 2008. So there's our crab story. Never had a full day apart. Like anywhere I go, she goes. Even if I'm at work, I still come home.
Yeah.
But we've never been separated by travel or any of that shit.
Yeah, unfortunately, my wife and I had a lot of separation. But I guess that's what makes it a strong relationship because, hell, we've been married for 29 years now, dude.
That's beautiful.
I mean, you know, part of that, you were in the military, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
My military was way before.
Way before? Yeah.
Mine was all the way back in the 90s. By the way, I even brought this out just for the show because of your month celebration. My Hell on Wheels.
You were in the Army?
Yep. It was Hell on Wheels. And yet I got deployed to Guantanamo Bay, Cuba in the 90s during the immigration shit that was going on. And that's where I did about a little bit, almost a year down there before going back to Texas. And then Texas really is what started a lot of my other careers, just because I happened to be in Fort Hood, where one of my other friends, by the way, when I was being asked about the music, I'm still supposed to do a theme song for my very talented friend Aaron Markham's movie that's supposed to come out, The Legend of Bloody Bones. And Aaron is also in Curse of the Ghost Rider, as well as one of his characters from that. But as soon as I got out, I moved to Austin. And in Austin, my comic Frozen Dead started in the Daily Texan. My first CD came out in 96 in Austin, which was the Killing Innocents stuff that's in the Poltergeist 2. And Killer Cox, James Carnes, is from Waco, Texas. And I became heavily involved in his film for that. So even though I've been all over the country, Texas was really good to me and really good to my entertainment career.
I was going to ask, when you were in the military, did you start doing entertainment? Like I'm sure you
I started before the military. I mean, the military was just basically a stepping stone. I did it, and I'll never regret it. And I'm happy with what I did, but I don't sleep right. But in general, I was doing it ever since high school. So I've always done art, and I've always done music.
Yeah.
It was probably 94 the first time I recorded my first industrial song.
Amanda wants to share this real quick, and I know you can't see it, so I'm going to read it to you. Army here, 3rd Brigade, 3rd Infantry Division, Fort Benning for Josh and I, her and her husband.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you all.
It can't be easy these days, so I definitely respect the hell out of you.
You know, a lot of people do that. A lot of people say thank you for your service. I think at the end of the day, I think the people at home need to thank themselves for, holding down the fort too. Like the families, the wives, the husbands or whatever that weren't deployed, but they were still. My wife was military, and she'll tell you she was not ever in the military, but she was military. She was a military housewife, but she had to take care of shit. She took care of the battlefield at home.
I was even born on an Air Force base in Maine that's no longer there.
Oh, really? Wow.
Damn.
My mom worked at a base in Orlando that's no longer there. So it's crazy. It's crazy all the time that went by, and now all these bases are getting
a lot of decommissioned places now,
closed down and stuff like that. Yeah, absolutely. And as you know, we're going to have our military show right at the end of the month. It's going to be a fantastic time. I hope you guys tune in and watch that. I love the garbage pail thing. We were talking about that before the show. Is that the only one that you have up?
That one's a blanket. So
okay.
That's the only one up. I just recently bought a Garbage Pail Kids Madball comic book when I was at this show the other day, which side trauma story. One of the neatest things I ever did is this really cute couple they came both days. They asked permission to come back the second day with their steel box of the Toxic Avenger reboot, which I thought was great as well. And they had me deface it as my Cretan character with like the glasses and the teeth and sign it. So I wrote Toxie Smells, Cretan's Rules on the Toxic Avenger Blu-ray.
That's cool.
That was fucking cool.
You want to tell everybody what projects you're working? I know we got the project you're working on currently. Anything else coming up? Anything else in the pipeline? Anything
you're allowed to say
with anybody else, or anything you're allowed to talk about?
James and I are also working on Roll Home the Resistance, which is a spinoff of Killer Cox, and eventually he wants to do a sequel to it as well. I told you I have the Wolverine Blood Feud coming up, and then I am writing new material. I am trying to release an album to celebrate my 30-year music career, which I think I showed you guys when we first started talking. I was blessed. I was recognized by the New England Music Hall of Fame just for my ambassador work throughout the underground scene when I was a guest at the Syracuse Comic Con. And that means a lot. And I'll also be doing some stuff with a wrestler friend of mine, the Russian Manimal Volkov. I'm helping him with his mockumentary he's doing, as well as apparently doing the soundtrack from what he told me just the other day. So big shout out to them.
Wow.
Yeah, we got a Russian wrestler friend too.
Nice. There's another one I can't name him because I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but I might be doing an entrance theme for somebody as well.
Somebody that's in
underground wrestlers. Nothing huge, but still, I mean, still fucking cool.
Yeah, I mean, just think about this, man. Back when we were watching ECW, like CM Punk's music was all fucking underground stuff.
Right.
A lot of those wrestlers had underground music. It wasn't fucking mainstream shit. You know what I mean?
And again, I'm not doing it to get rich. I'm doing it to help support. Yeah, I get some recognition, but at the end of the day, I'm doing it because I care.
Yep. That's fantastic, man. So all those projects, and then where can people find you?
Linktree, you can look up Frozen Dead 13, but there's also, I'm all over Facebook. Everything I do is on there. Whether it's Frozen Dead, I just started a page specifically for that comic. And in the albums, any out-of-print book over the last 27 years is free to read in the albums. Nobody should have to pay for entertainment if they can't afford to. So anything out of print, they can read there. Of course, they can always buy the current book for $30. That wouldn't hurt my feelings either. But once that's sold out, that will also be free to read in the albums, you know. And Curse of the Ghost Rider, Killing Innocents, Johnny Necro, they all have Facebook pages. And then I post pretty much daily. Anything I do, you can find. But more than that, I'm trying to share other people's stuff. So I'm also sharing your show and several other shows and the horror scene and movies like Bitter Souls, which is on Tubi, and Survive the End, which when that comes out, I'm going to be so excited about that one too, because that one I found out I was able to be in on accident because I offered them a song for a different movie, which was already out, and now I'm going to a drive-in to watch it tomorrow. So
sick.
it's a weird fucking life. I work the job I have to, so I can do all this other stuff as free or as cheap as possible to help support this scene.
I got to work.
Thank everybody.
We got to work too, just so I can pay for this show.
Right. And again, I thank every supporter I have, but don't just support me. Use those 3 dots at the top of Facebook and invite your friends to those pages that you like and those people that you support. Subscribe to the YouTube. You may not have time to watch everything, but it means a lot to all of you creators.
Exactly. That's the whole thing, man. You like it, subscribe. You don't have to watch, but we appreciate it every once in a while. If you do a download or whatever, yeah. We don't get paid.
Build each other up with an algorithm.
We don't get paid to do the show, but we do the show because we're wanting to introduce the talent and the folks that are doing the behind the scenes stuff to the audience, the little bit of audience that we have, and that's you guys in the comment section over there. So thank you all for tuning in to Talking Shit and hanging with us. Amanda said, definitely going to look you up. And Sleep said, you rock, Johnny.
Aw. I jokingly, I call myself the PBS of underground horror punk entertainment, but I really do mean that because I don't charge for a lot of shit. My wife makes most of my merch. Yes, we make money selling stuff. You can find Antastic Creations online, but I do a lot of stuff pro bono because I just love to do it and I love to entertain. And in this ever-changing negative climate, we need to help each other smile more than ever.
Yeah, man.
That's true.
Right on. All right. Well, Johnny, we asked you for an hour of your time, man. You have been super humble. I'm going to go get a little bit more of that beef jerky over there. So is there anything else that you want to mention before we let you go?
I want to say thank you to anybody who's been involved in anything that I've been doing, whether it's something I personally created or those who invited me into their sandbox, and especially people like you for letting me enter your artwork in your lives for a moment. Thank you very much. If you can help somebody, just help them. If you can create. Just create for the sake of creating. It's not always about getting rich at the end of the day. Fame and wealth are not always the same thing. You know, we don't need another Hollywood. Independent stuff. Help each other out, man. We're the future of entertainment because we actually do it because we give a shit. We give our all. We give our heart. And our fans are the best. So thank you all.
And just keep us up to date on what's launching when it's getting ready to launch, and we'll try to share that on the Talking Shit page as well for you.
Thank you.
Absolutely, brother. All right, Mark, do you have anything else that you want to talk about?
I get to talk?
Finally.
No, we'll just be back next Thursday.
With
his name, I'm going to
August.
His August. I can't say the last name, so
it's okay. What's the band name? Until I Wake. There you go.
And he picked a song for next week already, so
fantastic. So guys, tune in. We'll be on the decks with August, and we will have some fun there too. All right, guys, if there's nothing else from us here at Talking Shit, my name is Brian.
I'm Mark.
And this is Johnny, and we're out of here. Have a good night, everybody.
Bitch, I'm in the